once you get everything assembled, this is what you're left with right here. The instructions, which you use to put the kit together. All it does is tell you how to put it together. It doesn't tell you anything about how you articulate the figure, which, I mean, if you're not experimenting, you'll miss some important details on the articulation, which I think they should have pointed out in this little pamphlet here. And you get instructions on the Optimus Prime, the additional things that came with him for Prime. You get the YOLO card. You get Rhinox's hammer. Just pretty much molded plastic that's colored, not necessarily painted. So it's not weathered, no type of weathering whatsoever on this figure. But you know, you got to give them some leeway because it is, what is this, like a $30 figure after shipping and taxes? So yes, you can't expect weathering. Unlike the other release they had, the Megatron I had was beautifully painted, weathered, all that stuff, but it did cost like twice the amount that this thing cost. So, and that's pretty much the only thing you get for Rhinox. Everything else, accessory wise, is for Optimus Prime. His blades, you get 2 of those. You get 2 of his guns. Yep, this is for Prime. And you get his battle axe. All for Prime. I don't know why they just didn't give it to you with Prime, but I guess it's a clever way to get you to buy these other figures in order to get the weapons for Prime, for Bumblebee. For all the first releases, the weapons came with this wave of releases. So yes, that's a nice way to do that. Or it could be looked at as, that's bogus. You're just trying to get me to buy more figures that I don't really want. So it all depends on how you see it. But that's it for accessories in this set. And in order to get him to hold the hammer, he has these little pegs right here that tab in right there in his hand. And you just push in there, and now he's holding his hammer. I think this tab should have been a little lower, but you know, hey. But that's how you put the hammer in his hand. All right, let's see what this bad boy can do. So his head is on a ball joint that's connected to a neck piece that allows you to get his head that far forward. Not a lot back though, before it'll pop off. That's about as far back as you can get it, which is not really a lot. And then of course you could turn it. But this ball joint is like tight as hell, and then it's to the point where it feel like you're gonna break it. You can turn his head from side to side, but it's not a lot. This whole neck setup is very limited. But that's where the limitations stop, because everything else is phenomenal. So the shoulder pad will move. You can get the arm up that high. You got a slight butterfly joint. You can rotate the arm all the way around 360. Now, this is smooth right here. This is something that it would have been helpful if you saw it in the instructions. You just kind of discover it. But it's bicep muscle, or a piece, or whatever you want to call it. So it goes down and it moves up. When you move it up, that allows you to get a double elbow bend that much, which is ridiculous. That is a lot. Get a bicep rotation, and you can put that piece back down. Now, this figure has articulated fingers. So you got the thumb that's articulated in 2 different spots, and it's not cooperating with me. There we go. So you can bend that thumb like that. The fingers, you got the pointer by itself, 2 spots of articulation, and then you got the last 3 fingers that's articulated together. And you can ball them up and you get you a fist. All right. Let's see. You had a slight ab crunch, and when you do the ab crunch, if you turn around to the back, which is a nice added touch for a $30 figure, this is crazy. The pistons actually work. Let me show y'all. Look at that. Working pistons. That is crazy. But yeah, you get the ab crunch that far forward, that far back. You get a little bit of side to side on the top, rotation. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so you got the legs, right? Kick that far forward, but you got a drop down joint, so you can drop it down and get the leg up that high. And look, that's the drop down joint right there. That is bananas. Now here's another thing they did. Before I get to that though, you got the up, and I just pulled it off. Well, it's a ball joint, and these move right here, so you can situate those however you want. Okay, so he has the knee band, and at first I thought that's all you could do on it. And I was like, damn, that's terrible. That's all you get on the knee band? Then discovered that you come back here, and I keep bumping the camera, so professional. You can slide his calf muscle piece down. So the calf muscle piece up, down, which allows you to get even more on that. So now you got a double knee bend, which gets you a little bit more than 90, probably like 95. And if you look in here, you can see working pistons and pieces moving as you bend the knee. Try not to block the light so y'all can see it. That is crazy. The articulation on this $30 piece is better than the articulation on most pieces that cost $100 to $200, which is ridiculous. Now, for the foot, you get the rocker. Let me slide the calf muscle back up. You get the rocker, you're down, up, a little bit of rotation, and you get a toe tilt. So this thing is articulated beyond belief. It is crazy how articulated this thing is. Outside of the head being limited, everything else is ridiculous. Even these little pieces move a little bit, but I'm not gonna move them because it's not necessary. And then the fact that you can see stuff moving as you articulate it, like these working pistons, that is crazy. That's crazy on a $30 figure. Like I said, this figure's more articulated than some figures that cost 5 times the price, 3 times the price, double the price. So yeah, Yolopark knocked it out the park on the articulation for this figure. Couple poses. Look at that. That is phenomenal. Phenomenal. All right. All right, let's do some size comparisons. Here's a pop can. Brought back the apple. Here's the apple. Let's get that ruler out. There's the ruler. And he stands about 8 inches tall. All right. Here he is with some of his co-stars. Primal. And Cheetor. I gotta make him stand straight up. There we go. somehow I don't think that scale is accurate. I don't think they're all supposed to be damn near the same height. But either way, there's all three, the three that I own together. All right. Here's my Yolopark Megatron and a Studio Series hot rod. You can tell the difference in the paint between these two. Yolopark really did their thing on this with the paint. I wish they would have did some weathering or something to this bad boy, but he still looks good. We'll talk about it. But I think that's it. You know what? I'll do one more. Let's take them out. Here's 3-0 Optimus Prime and 3-0 Bumblebee from that universe. So you can get a good idea of how he scales with 3-0 figures. So if I'm not mistaken, 3-0 is doing more Rise of the Beast figures. So this bad boy is gonna end up being this dude's size. That's gonna be bananas. That's all I got for comparisons. All right, let's go. So what can I say about this Rhinox figure? It's pretty damn solid. I mean, the articulation alone, outside of the neck joint, like I don't know why they designed the neck like that. The neck is ridiculously bad, but outside of that, the articulation alone is dope. The details on this thing is phenomenal for a $30 figure. I like the different grays complemented by the bronze parts that look like they've been painted. Look at the molding details, the sculpt work. The little mechanical designs all throughout the legs, the pistons and everything. The sculpt work from the back. I'm not necessarily a fan of the head sculpt, but that's not because of Yolopark. I'm not a fan of the head design. But even still, this whole region right here, it looks real well done. Beautifully sculpted. I mean, I keep reminding myself, this is a $30 figure. But it looks damn good. He's a big, beefy bastard. No weight to him though, because there's no die cast. It's not like the Megatron. But just putting him on the shelf and not touching him, he looks like he weighs a ton. So I think Yolopark did a good job bringing this across to us in figure form from the movie, especially at this small scale, with all the design cues in it. Like you see a bunch of stuff. I see a bunch of stuff I didn't even notice in the movie. I didn't even know he had like asymmetrical sections on him. The little scars and the cuts within the metal of his frame. I didn't even notice that stuff in the movie. You didn't notice it because you don't really see this dude in the movie. You don't really see none of them like that in the movie, for the most part, especially not in robot mode. So, I mean, it's not really hard to miss some of these details. But if you missed them, Yolopark gave them to us. So yeah, man, that's pretty much my take on this piece. I really don't have that many complaints outside of the head sculpt, the neck design, and again, like I said, with the head sculpt, it's not really Yolopark's fault. I just don't like the design. So, I mean, I'm just taken away by the articulation. That alone just like bananas to me. But my overall score for this figure, $30 figure, you're definitely getting your money's worth. I'm gonna give this a 3.5. I could probably give it a 4. I'm teetering between the two. So it's gonna be one or the other. Tell you what I do. I'll put my final answer in the final edit. So it'll be up on the screen right about now. But that's all I got. Yolopark, Rhinox, on point. Pick it up if you can. And that's it. I'm gonna get up out of here. You all make sure you do the YouTube stuff, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I drop something new. And I'm gonna get up out of here. I'll catch y'all at the next video. This has been another action figure review, but make no mistakes about it, I'm a grown ass man. Peace.